Mankind has always been very interested in weapons. They have always fought and will always fight. Initially they used the guns for hunting, but this soon turned into killing people. We now have weapons of such destructive power that it is not easy to imagine. But when these modern weapons were not around, warfare was very different. The choice of weapons was very different, some of them completely unusual. But I am interested in weapons that seem out of the norm to me. Listed below are some of the most unusual weapons from ancient times, and believe it or not, they were actually used. The Macaweedle is a weapon shaped like a wooden sword. Its sides are embedded with prismatic blades made from a volcanic glass stone. It was similar to a large wooden club with cuts in the side to hold the sharpened obsidian. It is 3 to 4 feet long, and 3 inches broad, with a groove along either edge, into which sharp-edged pieces of flint or obsidian were inserted, and firmly fixed with some adhesive compound. Since the Macaweedle lacked a sharp point, it couldn't be used as a stabbing weapon. However, the jagged rows of obsidian gave the weapon a vicious tearing power that could cut deep lacerations in the enemy. The Kapinga was a bladed throwing knife used by the Azanda of Nubia. It had 3 different shaped blades. They were classed as court metal, being produced under the patronage of the powerful Avangara clan, and distributed only to professional warriors. The knife, also called the hungamunga, was up to 22 inches long. A Filipino sword from the Visayas, Philippines. The weapon was originally intended as an agricultural implement. The grip is usually made of guava wood, which is light. The blade itself is approximately 16 to 18 inches long. Panuti is Cebuano 4 whitened. As a farm implement, it would take on a dark patina due to contact with plant and animal fluids. When farmers sharpened their blades for combat, the blade was polished clean and white. A traditional Chinese martial arts weapon, Emisai, used for stabbing. They are a pair of metal rods with sharp ends. They are typically mounted on a detachable ring worn on the middle finger, allowing them to spin and be elaborately manipulated. These weapons originated at Mount Emisai. They are a piece of equipment used in wushu to this day. These are used for open palm techniques, and are similar to judges' pens. The Chinese weapon, Chukeo Nu, was basically an ancestor to the automatic rifle. It consisting of a bow mounted on a stock that shoots projectiles, often called bolts or quarrels. It sacrificed range and power for a quick reload time. The wooden case on the top of the crossbow held 10 crossbow bolts which fell into place when the rectangular lever on the back was pulled back after firing a bolt. The Chukeo Nu used last time in the Sino-Japanese Wars of 1894 to 1895. This allows a higher rate of fire than a normal crossbow. There is a magazine containing a number of bolts on top of the bow, and the mechanism is worked by moving a rectangular lever forward and backward. For more effectiveness, some of the bolts were tipped with poison from the deadly aconite flower, also known as wolfsbane. The scissor was a type of Roman gladiator, meaning cutter, cleaver, render. This type of gladiator fought using a weapon consisting of a hardened steel tube that encased the gladiator's entire forearm, with the hand end capped off and a semicircular blade attached to it. A handle inside the tube might have allowed the gladiator to maintain control in the heat of battle. This weapon might have been both deadly and versatile. The gladiator could use his protected arm to block his opponent's blows and quickly counterattack. The shape of the blade being such that even the slightest touch could cause a serious wound. Originated in Tamil Nadu, India, Katar is a weapon of push knifes type. It is characterized by its H-shaped horizontal hand grip, which results in the blade of the sword sitting above the user's knuckles. It is unique to South Asia, and is the most famous and characteristic of Indian daggers. Ceremonial Katar were also used in worship. The Katar at first glance has a single blade. However, when a trigger on the handle was activated, the blade would split into 3. One on the middle and one on each side. An esoteric type of pole weapon which was used in Europe as late as the 18th century. It consisted of a pole mounted with a 2-pronged head. Each prong had a spring-loaded door and could pass over a man-sized object and have the ability to keep it trapped. It was used for pulling men off of horseback and pinning them helplessly to the floor. Because of the spikes in the center, restraint was often minimal. This is one of the few examples of non-lethal polearms. Incredibly odd-looking Chinese weapon, the Schwas conspicuous iron hand at the end had sharp claw-like nails that would impale flesh, and then tear it off from the body. This was designed to take away shields. And when that shield's out of the way, your face is next. The Schwa would have been primarily used for ripping and tearing at the enemy, though the sheer weight of the weapon could have also made it a useful bludgeoning tool. Bognok is a claw-like Indian weapon. The term Bognok means tiger's claw in Hindi. It's also called tiger claws. It's designed to fit over the knuckles or concealed under and against the palm. It consists of 4 or 5 curved blades affixed to a crossbar or glove. Also designed to slash through skin and muscle, it is believed to have been inspired by the armature of big cats. Bognok was first developed in India. The first well-known usage of the weapon was by the first Maratha Emperor Shivaji, who used a Baichawa Bognok to defeat the Bijapur general Afzal Khan. After the Direct Action Day riots, the Bengali Hindu girls began to wear a sharp weapon resembling Bognok while going to school. In order to defend themselves,